Okay, I want you to forget everything you thought you knew about risk management. Seriously, the playbook is being completely rewritten by AI. This isn't about firewalls and compliance checklists anymore. Today, we're going to go inside the mind of a modern AI risk manager to see what their day really looks like. So here's the plan. We're going to follow our risk manager right from their first cup of coffee, where they're actually using AI to predict tomorrow's threats. Then we'll see how they use it as an auditing superpower in the afternoon. We'll even decode this new language they have to speak, prompt engineering, and see why their job is so much more about building bridges than firewalls. And then we'll wrap it all up with a clear roadmap so you can step into this role yourself.
The first and most critical change to understand is this. The job is no longer just about playing defense. The modern AI risk manager has shifted from being a reactive defender, just waiting for threats, to being a proactive business partner who actually helps the company innovate safely. They've gone from being the brakes on the car to being the GPS, guiding it forward.
And this whole evolution is perfectly captured by this idea of the CISO 2.0. This isn't just some tech expert tucked away in a back room anymore. This is a strategist sitting at the main table. They're helping design products, they're advising on ethical AI, and they're acting as an accelerator for the business, not a roadblock.
And the stakes? Well, they are absolutely astronomical. $4.45 million. Let that sink in for a second. That's the average cost of a single data breach. This isn't just some IT line item anymore. It's a board-level existential business risk. And that is exactly why having a strategic AI risk leader isn't a nice-to-have, it is an absolute must-have for survival.
So how does our AI risk manager's day actually begin? Well, it's not by sifting through thousands of alerts from yesterday. Nope. It starts by looking into the future, using AI to spot potential risks before they can even cause any damage. One of the key silent threats they're always hunting for is something called model drift. See, an AI is trained on a snapshot of the world, but the world changes constantly. So imagine a fraud detection AI that was trained before some new online scam got popular. As the real-world data changes, the model's accuracy drifts, making it less and less effective and opening up the business to huge losses. It's a type of risk that traditional security tools are completely blind to.
So their morning doesn't start with firewall logs. It starts with a dashboard that looks a lot like this one. They're basically doing a health check on all their AI systems. Right away, my eyes go straight to that warning on the fraud detection model. That's the first call of the day, pinging the data science team. Is it drifting because of a new fraud tactic? This kind of proactive monitoring, checking for stuff like bias and new vulnerabilities, is a total game changer for daily operations.
All right, now it's mid-morning, and the focus shifts. Our manager isn't just managing the risks of AI, they're flipping the script and using AI as their secret weapon for risk management, specifically to supercharge their internal audits.
So, imagine you're preparing for an audit of the company's procurement process. Instead of starting from scratch with a blank document, our manager pulls up a generative AI assistant. They might use a simple direct prompt, just like this one. They're basically asking the AI to act as an expert consultant and give them a starting list of potential risks to investigate.
And boom, just like that, in seconds, the AI generates a whole categorized risk list that would have taken a junior analyst hours, maybe even days to compile. Now, this isn't the final report, of course, but it is a massive head start. The manager now walks into that audit meeting, not with a blank page, but with a smart, comprehensive checklist ready to ask all the right questions from the very first minute.
That simple but super effective audit prompt, it really highlights a crucial new reality. The ability to talk to AI, or what we call prompt engineering, is not a niche skill anymore. It is fast becoming a core competency for every single risk professional out there. Because getting a brilliant answer from an AI, it all starts with asking a brilliant question.
But, there's a dark side to this new skill. As we learn how to prompt AI, so do the attackers. With something called prompt injection, a hacker can hide malicious instructions in a totally normal-looking query, trying to trick the AI into ignoring its safety rules, or worse, leaking sensitive data. So you have to be a master of prompting, not just for offense, but for defense too.
So how do you get good at it? Well, it really just boils down to a simple, repeatable process. First, be crystal clear about your objective. What do you want? Second, give the AI all the necessary context. Third, tell the AI exactly what format you want the answer in: a table, a bulleted list, a paragraph. And finally, and this is key, iterate. The first answer is rarely perfect. You have to refine your prompt to refine the results. Okay, so as the afternoon rolls on, the focus shifts away from the technology and on to the people. Because managing AI risk is absolutely not a solo sport. It's a highly collaborative role that's ultimately about one thing: building trust across the entire organization.
I mean, just look at where they spend their time. This is not a siloed tech role. 1 hour, they're deep in conversation with data science about model bias, and the very next, they're in a meeting with legal trying to decode the latest AI regulations. They are the central hub, the translator between the tech, the law, and the business. They're the connective tissue for responsible AI.
And why is all this collaboration so important? Well, because the ultimate goal here is trust. The research is crystal clear on this. When organizations are transparent with their employees and their customers about how they're using AI, they don't just manage risk better, they actually achieve better business outcomes. Trust isn't some soft skill. It is a hard strategic asset.
So, we've seen the day-to-day, but how do you actually get there? Let's zoom out for a minute and look at a clear, actionable roadmap for anyone who wants to build a career in AI risk management. It all starts with the foundations. First, you have to speak the language. You need to know your LLMs from your model drift. But the technical jargon is only half the battle. Those core human skills, communication, collaboration, they are absolutely non-negotiable. If you combine these with some foundational courses in AI governance, you'll have a rock-solid base to build your career on.
Next up, you build the scaffolding. This means mastering formal risk frameworks like MITRE's Atlas, which is basically a catalog of all the adversarial tactics used against AI. You'll also need to become an expert on the shifting sands of global AI regulations, and of course, prove your expertise with key professional certifications.
And the final phase is all about getting your hands dirty with the tools of the trade. This means learning how to do adversarial testing. That's where you actively try to break AI models to find their weaknesses before the bad guys do. It means getting real, hands-on experience with AI security platforms like Microsoft Security Copilot or Darktrace, and mastering that kind of continuous monitoring we saw on our manager's morning dashboard. So, there you have it. The role of the risk manager has fundamentally changed, from a gatekeeper to a strategic enabler. The old playbook is obsolete. The new one is being written right now at the intersection of technology, ethics, and business strategy. The only question left is, are you ready to pick up the pen?